Hey guys, welcome back to the next part of our series. Today we're going to continue working on the topology of the leg. And as I mentioned in the previous video, I want to show you a little trick that you can use to move a little bit faster, because if you try to do the trick that I was doing in the later video, which is just grabbing the extrude and going down, 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 you're going to see that faces are going to start like collapsing into each other because they're trying to follow their normal, and that usually gets a couple of bad directions there, here and there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a cylinder. I'm going to say that this cylinder is going to have 16 sides to it. Let's frame it real quick. Select the vertex, Control F11 to select or jump selection into faces, or just select all the faces. And this is it. We pretty much got our 16-sided cylinder ready. Let's turn this off for a second. Ready to place right above the knee. About here. I'm gonna kind of scale it, twist it a little bit, trying to make it fit as close as possible to where the knee is. Now, if I look, let me get this into a layer. If I look at where the lines are here, I want to try and get them as close as possible to that. And now the only thing I need to do is select the body, select light surface, select my guy, and go into modeling, mesh, conform. And it's gonna conform perfectly to our little knee right there. And now I can just select both low polys, combine, and do the broad stroke technique. I can just go 1, 1, 2, 2, and go around. And this is gonna ensure or reassure me that everything is just straight and going down the length of my leg. I think we're a little bit too. That's fine. Well, I think we might be a little bit too heavy on the topology. Like 16 seems a little bit too much for the amount of detail that we're gonna have for our character. But as long as we don't go over our budget, right now my budget, or the amount of polygons that I'm trying to keep for my character, it's 50k. The tops that we're gonna have is gonna be 100k, but I know that the hair is gonna take quite a bit of polygons to look nice. So I'm thinking this girl is gonna be like a hero character, and therefore she can have that many polygons. Always ask your client, ask your teammates what the goal is in regards to polyframe or poly count, because you don't want to go over it. The worst thing that you can get or have is a very nice looking character with overblown topology or triangle budget. Okay, so this is it. We got our leg. It's looking very nice. Now for the knee, we can do the same trick we did for the shoulder. So I'm gonna get rid of 4 in this case. Why 4? Because I always like to keep things both symmetrical and in a easy to remember number. And we can just add like the extra volume here for the knee. Of course, we're gonna have to complete this. Well, let's keep it at 4. So this is gonna go this way. And I guess we're gonna have to do 6. Let's just have one extra line there. There we go. And if we go around, that's gonna be our knee completed. Now, some of you might notice now that the squares are getting really tiny here, and trying to cover the whole lower leg with just these little squares is gonna take a while. So in order for me to simplify and save myself a couple of triangles here and there, we can simplify the amount of loops that we have, going from 16 all the way back to like 12 or maybe even 10, because there's not a lot of information that we need. The only important thing here is that we need to keep the profile. And remember that we have this like triangular shape here. So I'm gonna go here, and I do want to keep these 2 guys. I'm gonna say, okay, you know what? That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 10 should be more than enough at this point. they're covering the whole area of my lower leg nicely, and we're gonna save ourselves quite a bit of geometry. Now, where do we simplify? At what point throughout the leg do we simplify? I believe that the best place to do so is not on the articulation. So if you can go higher, that's better. So for me, I'm gonna keep this 4 like front sides, like this guy right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select, let's isolate this guy for a second. I'm going to select the edges that I want to collapse. And there's this tool called collapse that allows you to, well, as the name implies, collapse the edges. It should be under edit mesh and collapse. I have a shortcut for it right here. And I'm going to do the same on this side. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to try to keep the triangles at the same place. So in this case, it's right there. Forgot one line. There we go. Yeah, this looks like one line that we can collapse nicely. There we go. So it's 1, 1. This is a little bit twisted. That's fine. We can just move them a little bit. And yeah, over here. Collapse. Bring it all the way so that they are all in the same at the same distance. It's usually a better workflow there. So that guy and that guy. Now also remember that these triangles are going to be covered by the dress. You do see her leg, but it's not super exposed, so it should be fine. And now we just go here and we can do from here to here and from here to here and do a bridge. And boom, that's it. Now, of course, you can see that the leg is twisting. That's part of the leg. That's part of the anatomy of the leg, but also a little bit of the topology. So just move things around because, as I mentioned earlier, you want everything to be as straight as possible. So just balance this out. There we go. And then we can add one more line there. We can do the same trick here. If we already know that we have 10 lines, we're just gonna quickly, like broad strokes again, try to bring them out. Try to follow, same thing we did with the forearm, where we try to follow the curvature of the forearm with the topology. If you need to twist it a little bit, that's fine. It will be better for us in the long run. So there we go. We'll just move this here. And you know what we're gonna do. Eventually, we're just gonna come back here into all of the loops and we're gonna give them the resolution that they need. Oh, there we go, there we go. One, two. That's perfect. That's good. Oh, that's good. Keep them aligned. Keep them at the same level. Don't worry about the curvature of the other pieces just yet, because again we're gonna cover that. Don't worry about having too many lines here on the ankle. They're gonna be helpful for the foot topology. So just make sure that everything is as straight as possible, because if lines are not straight, whenever you insert a new edge loop, those edge loops are not going to be straight either, and that is very, very problematic. There you go. So 1, 2, 1, 2, and that's it. That's a very nice looking lower leg there. Now, I know we've mentioned this before, but all of this is thanks to the nice sculpture that we got from ZBrush. If your sculpture sucks, if your anatomy is not good, if you're struggling with form and proportions and whatnot, it doesn't matter how good you get at retopology, you're gonna be struggling a lot with that. Okay, so always take that in mind. Now, in regards to the ankles, I do like to loop around them to give them a little bit more form. So I'm just gonna do the same thing we've been doing. I'm just gonna place one little square there, and we're gonna actually her ankle bones are not as prominent. Let me erase this thing. What I wanted to do was to just, similar to what we did with the like with the spheres on the belt, kind of just give them that extra little volume. But now that I think of it, I'm not even sure if it's gonna help that much or not. Doesn't seem like it would, to be honest. At least not on this inner one. I think it's good. Let's keep it. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So right here on this guy, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and then a loop around this guy there. This is gonna be all the way here. That's why I was a little bit hesitant about this other side of the ankle, but it seems like it could work. Give us a little bit of an extra volume there. Think of this as like the action figures that we sometimes have. Sort of like the joints. If this was a robot, this is how the joints would kind of behave. There you go. Cool, how we're doing on time. Okay, I'm gonna close the video right here, guys. And in the next video, we're gonna work with the foot, with the feet. It's gonna be very easy as well. Remember, we decided initially that we didn't want to have a lot of movement in the toes. But if you want to, we could go in and do something similar to what we did with the hand. So first, we're gonna cover the whole like sole of the feet or the foot, ankle, and everything. And once we hit the toes, we're gonna decide whether or not we want to sculpt some nice toes for her. Okay. So anyway, guys, I wish you the best, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.